So next up, what we're going to be covering with our Transformer Legacy Evolution collection that we are being shown today from the Hasbro Pulse live stream for their Hasbro Pulsecon 2020. This is a big one. This really brings to light the evolution in Legacy Evolution and really makes sense of everything, because this is all, at the end of the day, 2023 is a celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Japanese release of Transformers Micron, aka Transformers Armada. As it was known in Japan, Transformers Micron no Detsetsu, the Legend of the Minicons, or the Microns. So this celebration of Armada becomes even more apparent with the Deluxe class, how the Gimmick is going to work, and the Evolution naming convention. And what I mean by that is, in the Western world, because of the way the dub was with Transformers Armada, when the Minicons would attach to the larger characters, they would say transform and combine, or they would say power link sometimes. They really weren't consistent with that because of how the scripts were back then for Armada. But if you watched it in Japanese, every time a Minicon attached to their bulk transformer, the big Autobot or Decepticon character would shout evolution, and it would unlock a new weaponry for them, whatever it would be. And this is present here today with the title, with the character that's going to be involved in this first wave of the Deluxes, and with just the gimmick itself. Now, granted, it's going to be a Minicon gimmick. There's going to be no Minicon involved with this, but the weapon evolution vibe is still present. And let's talk about that. We got some cool stuff we're going to talk about. All of our Wave 1 Deluxes for 2023 Legacy Evolution. First one we're going to cover, just quickly, because we already talked about it in length, which is Breakdown, the last of our Stunticon members. Not much we could really talk about that I didn't already cover in the segment I did a few days ago, so go check that one out if you want to hear me talk about the mold and everything like that. But the one thing I do want to cover is it was designed by Hasui-san and Mark, so shout out to them with their design of the original figure, which was the Wild Rider that it was originally tooled from. That's the first thing I want to cover. The second thing that they talk about, they don't really address that it's a partial and stuff like that. They almost kind of avoided that. But they did want to talk about the evolution weapon gimmick, which we didn't really catch this time around when looking at it. But they mentioned how you take that spoiler, you detach it from the back of the alt mode, you attach it to his weapon, and then you have that legacy evolution thing, and now it's an axe. Like, they're kind of going with that, which makes me, kind of wonder, like, is that kind of the same thing with, like, let's say Transformers Legacy Evolution, not Legacy Evolution, Legacy Velocitron Cosmos, where he kind of has a combining weapon too in a lot of ways? I don't know. Maybe that's the way I could see it. But the point is that they're going with that weapon combining kind of gimmick, that evolution, if you will. And that's an interesting take that they're going to go about with it. They also mentioned, this is very interesting, in that case assortment of 4 different Deluxes, one of them is going to be the old Legacy packaging, and it's going to be Breakdown. They mentioned that because Breakdown is actually part of the Stunticons from the original Legacy line, they want to have a consistency of the packaging for mint and box collectors. So while all the other Deluxes in this assortment are going to have the new packaging style for Legacy Evolution, this one here is going to have the old packaging style. So when you have all your other Stunticon members, the Deluxe ones next to each other, they're all going to look consistent on your shelving. So that's a nice touch. That's pretty cool that they did that. It's going to be a bit of a headache for the factories, I would imagine. But still pretty cool that they did that otherwise. Really cool. Not much else I could say about Breakdown. Again, check out the individual segment about that on the podcast. Now, let's talk about these new ones. We got 3 new Deluxes to talk about, and pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. First one, brand new character. Let's talk about Scraphook, the Deluxe class here. So this is a trademark that we saw, and then we saw a listing online, and some people were speculating, is it Scrapper and Hook, the 2 Constructicons, in some kind of Deluxe assortment? Is that, mean that we're going to be getting Deluxe, 2 Constructicons in a Deluxe price point, and we're going to have some kind of combiner later? Like, there was all kinds of different speculation happening. But nope, it's a brand new character, straight up from the ground up, not a pre-existing one. It's a Junkion unit. It's a Junkion member, an Autobot character. Very interesting design. When I saw the alt mode, which is like this kind of like Junkion looking pickup truck or like a tow truck. I almost got the Transformers Rise of the Beast vibes of what they're doing with Battle Trap, and I was wondering if there was some kind of correlation there. Is this going to be some kind of G1 equivalency? But this one's an Autobot, it's a Junkion. It's more just a coincidence if anything else. But it's really cool that they're doing Junkions, again, that are not just motorcycles. So you have same thing like Detritus with the Hound repaint from eHobby back in the day. So there's another non-motorcycle Junkion member to add to that crew, combined with the fact that this is also the return of weaponizers. So we get that same kind of thing too, where we get brand new weaponizers to be added, and it clearly Hasbro really likes their weaponizers. And it also continues that trend where in our Generations line that we've gotten since Siege, it was very rare to get a brand new character unless it was either A, in the core class price point, or in that little cheaper price point, or B would be a modulator, a weaponizer, a fossilizer. They would make new characters in those kind of gimmicky play patterns so that it doesn't affect, the more predominant characters. I think the only exception to the rule really in a lot of ways would be Cup, but he doesn't count as a modulator. He just happens to have that kind of gimmick with his Studio Series 86. Point is that so this is a brand new character, and that's really cool. And by having that modulator concept, you can mix and match the pieces. You recreate the Junkions repairing somebody when they get pulled apart, or you can mix and match the pieces onto other Junkion toys and 5mm peg toys. And what we saw with some of the art from the poster for Legacy Evolution, it looks like you could take like a part of the Junkion here, the Scraphook, and kind of make a sidecar for your motorcycle Wreck-Gar from Studio Series 86. It looks like you could make like a chariot. Like, it seems like there's a lot of creativity going on here that could be done, and it looks really fun. It looks really fun. I appreciate it. I like that it's a brand new character. It's always nice to get brand new characters instead of sometimes, someone like me who's been collecting for 30 plus years, and sometimes you end up just buying the same characters over and over. Granted, they are improvements of the original toys in general, but to get a brand new character, that's really cool. The nice rookie card, if you will, of this character. And hopefully he'll be featured in fiction in the future and fleshed out, and we'll learn more about him, maybe even in the comics. So really cool. And I dig this. Scraphook looks really cool. I like that they even has the traditional spiked wheel, Junkion wheel as a shield. He doesn't use it as his actual wheel, though, but it's like a spare tire on the back, and he has it as a shield there. Nice little extra Junkion touch with the color scheme. I love it. It looks great. Building a Junkion army, it looks really cool. Really, really cool. Next up, this is a big one. This is the Aaron Archer one here. We got Armada Hotshot, the Deluxe class, brought to the modern era, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Transformers Armada. This one here takes the Aaron Archer design, and Kuniharu-san modernizes it and makes it ridiculously show accurate, which is fantastic. Again, the original Armada Hotshot toy came out 20 years ago, and it had the kibble and the hanging off stuff and the toyetic kind of play pattern that was for Armada those 20 years ago. When you look at the animation model, a lot of that kibble, especially like, the sides of the arms and stuff, were not present in the animation model. Kuniharu-san took the toy, made it super show accurate, looks very sleek, very nicely done. I love the way the face sculpt is, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am so excited about this. Even the alt mode. The alt mode looks great too. The way he did the spoiler is more show accurate too. So like they really managed to fit everything in there. Combined with the fact that he comes with his dual blaster that could be stored on his engine bay, could be held in his hand, which is something the original toy had a very difficult time doing. They didn't show if the dual blaster also could plug onto his chest. I don't think it does. Doesn't look like it, but that would be an extra nice touch if it does do that. And like I mentioned before, the Evolution, the Transform and Combine Mini-Con gimmick is technically kind of present. So the Evolution is he could flip up his axle and it becomes the giant, cannon, and he has his visor that could come down. So he is a love letter to the original Hot Shot toy. And it's amazing, this original Hot Shot character, like he's had a lot of merchandise throughout the years, that original like first Armada design. I mean, he had a Generations toy all those years ago, which was fantastic too. And now they have this one here, looks super show accurate. I love it. I didn't think that they could make it any better than what they already had. This is a fantastic one. And you know that hot rod colored Power Links color scheme, super hot shot, whatever you want to call him, super hot rod as he was called in Japan, is going to be coming at some point. We'll get the hot rod color scheme. It's going to be hype. Heck, we might even get all the other wacky color schemes that this mold had throughout the years. This is really cool. I'm very excited about this one. And it's nice to see an Aaron Archer design alive and well, celebrating with this Armada 20th anniversary with Transformers Evolution. And it really brings in that evolution aspect. Last one we got here is something I was kind of related to back in the day. The very last Needlenose toy that was ever done in Transformers I got to work on. And I did the bio and everything with Needlenose, Sunbeam, and Zigzag. Those were some old My Little Pony trademarks right there. And this is an Ataku-san design along with Mark, taking that Needlenose design, bringing it to the modern era, making it even more comic book accurate. And they're just happy to be able to do a deluxe price point jet. Now, when they said that, this was me scratching my chin going like, if we ever do get another big combiner team, they're probably going to be the aerial bots. That's my take. And that means we're going to get some deluxe class jets to go with a commander class Superion probably. That's just my, my speculation. Take from that what you will. But having Needlenose here kind of opens up the doorway to deluxe class jets to be used and planes to be used in the future for certain combiners, let's say. So that little kind of talk that they had there, getting jets into the deluxe class price point, it's nice to do that. I wonder what's going to happen with that. But this is Needlenose. He was the double Targemaster, really cool character. Got to work on him back in the day. And his evolution thing is, hey, we got Targetmasters. We managed to give 2 Targetmasters with Needlenose. That's really cool. And the evolution fusion or Evo fusion, whatever you want to call it, is going to be that the weapons could combine and make a double gun like a double Targetmaster used to be able to do back in the day, or it could attach to him to make extra boosters on his jet mode. Nice, cool stuff. Really like what I see what they're doing here. I dig it a lot. I think it looks really good. That original one that I worked on was just a repaint retool of some previously existing stuff. Especially from the aerial bots, but this guy looks really good. It's a home run. This deluxe class assortment for Transformers Legacy Evolution, I like everything I see here. I really do. I can't even pick one that I like more than the other. Maybe the Armada Hotshot a little bit, just because I have some nostalgic connection with that. Needlenose, because I got to work on a previous Needlenose. Scraphook, because it's a brand new character. And he looks really fun, and weaponizers are awesome, and we know all the creativity that's going to come from people mixing and matching this with other 5mm ports like the fossilizers and the modulators and everything. So I like what I see. Pretty cool stuff. Let me know what you think, guys. We still got more to talk about today, so be sure to tune in to the Transformer Slag podcast. This day is not over.